Most people think a receipt is just paper, but sometimes it's a verdict. That afternoon, the receipt lay on the counter like a quiet accusation. Total, paid. Tip, $0.00, no scribble. No apology, just empty space where hope usually tried to survive. Marisol Hayes stood behind the counter of the Cedar Ridge Diner, the low hum of conversations mixing with the clink of plates and the bitter smell of burnt coffee. She stared at that blank line longer than she should have, not because she felt entitled, but because that empty space felt heavier than the entire double shift she'd just worked. She took a slow breath and folded the receipt like she always did, slipping it into the register drawer. Because this wasn't really about money, IT was about being reminded, again, that life rarely slows down for people already running on empty. Marisol was 27, a single mother, one unexpected expense away from everything unraveling. Every morning started before sunrise. She packed snacks and coloring books for her 4-year-old daughter, Ella, then walked her next door to a neighbor who watched her during the day. By 6 a.m., Marisol was tying on her apron, pasting on a smile, and pouring coffee for people who rarely notice her name tag. She didn't complain. She didn't expect sympathy. She just kept moving. That day had been brutal. The lunch rush blurred into late afternoon. Her feet ached. Her back screamed. And then he walked in that he didn't announce himself, didn't check his phone, or scan the room impatiently. But the air shifted anyway. Tall, calm, a tailored coat that didn't belong in a roadside diner just outside Forgotten Town. Marisol greeted him the same way she greeted everyone else. Coffee? He nodded. Please. She noticed his manners, the way he listened when she spoke, the distant look in his eyes, like his thoughts lived somewhere far away. She refilled his cup before he asked, checked on him once more than usual, not because he demanded attention, but because something told her he might need it. He thanked her softly each time. When he finished eating, he placed his utensils neatly together, slid out of the booth, and walked out without another word. No drama. No scene. Just gone. When Marisol returned to clear the table, she saw the receipt .0 tip. Her chest tightened, not with anger, but with that familiar sinking feeling she knew too well. She thought of the grocery list taped to her fridge, the rent due in 10 days, the preschool payment she was already late on. She swallowed hard. Kindness isn't a transaction, she reminded herself. She wiped the table carefully, stacked the plate. Then it stuck. The plate didn't slide smoothly. Something underneath caught. She lifted it again, slower this time. There was a folded piece of paper tucked beneath the edge. Her name was written on it, just Marisol. No last name. No explanation. Her heart began to race, not with fear, but with a strange, quiet curiosity. She waited until the rush died down, until the diner grew softer, calmer. Then she slipped into the booth and unfolded the paper with hands that trembled just enough to notice. Inside was a short note. Simple, unpolished, that IT said he had noticed things most people overlooked. The crayon drawing tucked into her apron pocket. The way she spoke gently to impatient customers. The dignity she carried, even when the day gave her nothing back. The last line stole the air from her lungs. This is not a tip. It's an opportunity. Behind the note was a business card and a folded check. The amount wasn't outrageous. That was the shocking part. IT was exactly what she needed. Enough to cover rent. Enough for childcare. Enough to breathe again. No strings. No instructions. Just a number to call, if she wanted. That night, Marisol held Ella a little longer than usual. Listened to her talk about shapes and colors and the songs she learned that day. And for the first time in years, Marisol felt something unfamiliar settle in her chest. Possibility. The next morning, after dropping Ella off, Marisol sat in her car for nearly 20 minutes before dialing the number. N01 rushed her. No one tested her. They listened. Weeks passed. Then months. Marisol didn't quit her job. She kept showing up. But now she was learning. Too, she discovered the man's name was Grant Hollowell. Someone the world knew well. A billionaire. A philanthropist. Someone who believed dignity came from work, not charity. His foundation focused on small towns, on people overlooked. The note wasn't a test of obedience. IT was a test of awareness. Would she notice what others missed? She had. With mentorship and training she never imagined accessing, Marisol discovered she had a talent for organization and leadership. The diner owner noticed as well, slowly trusting her with more responsibility. Eventually, with guidance and a modest grant, Marisol helped modernize the diner, updating systems, improving schedules, turning it into a place that hired parents juggling work and family just like her. Years later, Marisol stood behind that same counter. The diner was brighter now, louder, full of laughter. Ella sat at the counter doing homework, safe and confident. Once a year, Grant Hollowell still visited. Same booth, same quiet presence. He never left a tip. Only a note. Each one a reminder that the world doesn't always change loudly. Sometimes it changes quietly, under a plate, waiting for someone who's paying attention. If this story made you feel something, even just a little, please take a moment to like and share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you believe in stories about kindness, second chances, and quiet moments that change lives, subscribe to Soulvex Studio for more powerful, original storytelling. Before you go, comment below with one word that describes how this story made you feel, and tell us where you're watching from. Your words matter more than you know, because sometimes what looks like nothing changes everything.